My name is Tod Creneti, and I work as the mental skills coach in the athletic department at Gettysburg College. The goal is to help any athlete elevate their performance, to become just a little bit better at what they do. And so for me, from the mental side, it's pretty specific. I want to help make sure that there's nothing going on between their ears that's keeping them from being a peak performer. And at the same time, I want to help them understand how understanding their brain can maximize their physical effort and help them reach peaks that they have not in the past. Student athletes at the Division III level are making tremendous sacrifices, and yet they're there because they're passionate about their sport and they still want to see greatness on the field, on the court, in the pool, wherever they might be. And so whatever I can do to help support them from a mental standpoint so their mindset prepares them to perform at a peak level, I'm excited to be a part of that. You know, we talk a lot about performance in sports world. We talk about performance a lot in the business world, and this idea of, trying to seek peak performance and reach peak performance is not always just about what we learn in school or what we are able to train our bodies to do physically. Oftentimes, even when we're at peak physically, even from a knowledge standpoint, we have blocks that get in the way. They keep us from performing at our peak. And so mental skills really helps athletes and then beyond the athletic field, it helps our student athletes take this into life beyond. Mental skills is going to help them identify things that might get in the way of them performing at their peak. And we're going to teach them little things like how to utilize self-talk to keep them in a positive space. We're going to teach them how to be emotionally intelligent, to be better teammates. And those are the kinds of things we focused on this year at Gettysburg, and they become really sort of core principles in the world of mental skills. If you can find me an athlete who doesn't think while they're playing, then yeah, maybe mental skills aren't important. But we talk about hand-eye coordination in a lot of sports. So many of the sports are really foot brain or hand brain, right? Because we have to think what we're going to do before we do it. Now, some of those things feel almost involuntary, but because there is a thought process involved, because we have to think when we play, clearly making sure that our brain is in the best place possible for performance would benefit our performance. We've talked a lot in the last few years as a society about mental illness, and we have been reactive to rising rates of mental illness. What mental skills and a focus on mental skills allows us to do for student athletes or anybody that wants to perform at a high level in any setting is to be proactive about mental health, to work to be mentally fit, understanding that our emotions, the way we process information, the way we think, are all important and vital to our success in whatever we choose to do. So because we are so involved in thinking and decision-making every day, we want our brain and our mental health to be as high as possible, as positive as possible, as healthy as possible. And that's our goal, is to create mentally healthy competitors and performers who can rely on their brain to tell them the truth and not try and tell them things that are not true that might hinder their performance. My favorite things I was ever interested to, I guess, is the military concept of AIO. It's adapt, improvise, and overcome. And for any athlete or any coach in any setting, while we prepare for very specific things come game time, it is pretty typical that there are things that happen that we don't expect. We're gonna face adversity along the way. We're gonna see these challenges arise that we didn't expect. And if you sort of put those in two boxes, on the field and then again off the field, we really believe that being able to be adaptable allows us to improvise and allows us to overcome. And if we can do that on the field, we have more successful teams. And if we can do that off the field, then we're better prepared to deal with the adversity that comes for all of us. And really, adversity really becomes more significant later in life. Not being a starter on your athletic team in college may feel like adversity. Dealing with the loss of a very close loved one later in life or a terminal illness is the kind of thing that we want to get our athletes prepared for down the road. And we're encouraging them to use the reps they take now to prepare for those kinds of moments.